see her lying back in her satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess.
Happy Homebrew Wednesday. No brew footage on this particular Homebrew Wednesday, although I am pretty excited, and I think this next sentence might somehow become the name of this episode of Homebrew Wednesday. My good friend Stein just started homebrewing. I may have talked about this in the last Homebrew Wednesday or so, but he brewed an amber ale, and he sent me a video of his first tasting, our own private kind of YouTube, but it turned out really, really well, and I'm super happy for him. I actually sent him a beer mail of a lot of my beers, so he got to try some out, but super happy that his beer turned out really well. Hey Stein, I'm going to use the Goze Cuervo. This is it, Goze Cuervo. Looks like a margarita, doesn't it? Smells a lot like a margarita. I should have some lime going on here, but I don't. And, oh, cheers. Cheers, Stein. It's definitely a Goza. It kind of tastes like a margarita. It's better when it has lime in it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I'll come up with a name for the, like I said, name for the episode. This is the theme of this one. Is going to, and I've got a good beer for this. This is, you know, a lot of people know me for IPAs, but a little known fact is I make a pretty mean porter. And this is the porter recipe that's called, actually, I think I talked about this on the last Homebrew Wednesday, but I don't care. It's so good, I'm gonna talk about it again. This is, you know what? I'm gonna call this porter, Josh, this is the porter I was talking about. That's the name of the porter. This stems back from a conversation that Josh Secor and I had, you know, a while back about just making a solid base recipe. This is a solid base recipe. So yeah, Josh, this is the porter I'm talking about. I'm gonna put that on the name. I'll have to play this back so I remember the name because that's kind of lengthy, but I like it. Cheers. Okay, special theme of this Homebrew Wednesday is going to be what I'm thankful about, because Thanksgiving is just right around the corner. So what I'm thankful about. First of all, I'm very thankful that I have all you guys. The YouTube BrewTube community is wonderful, and I've talked about this in previous episodes before. I've had ups and downs where I've had surgeries, been laid up, and you guys have always come through, you know, kept me somewhat sane while I'm sitting down here bored out of my mind. Also, you have been saviors when it came to getting into the hobby and trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. And you've just been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of you guys in person, folks that live close around me, like Mash Paddle and Larmo down in down the ways in Virginia. I met Dan Follette, who's now been reassigned with his military service out west. Awesome dude. SJ and Mary and Bailey. I've met all those guys that are from Pennsylvania. And then I've met a larger extended crowd of you guys at the National Homebrew Convention. So I just want to say I'm thankful that I have this club, and I'm thankful to be part of it, and I'm thankful that you awesome folks are a part of this community. So that deserves a second sip. Second thing I'm thankful for, I'm glad I'm back into a job role at work where I'm actively engaged. You know, for a while I had some disruption going from one position to the next, but it's back. And matter of fact, not only am I back, I'm like I used to describe this, and I can't do that on this video, but I am super busy, and that's a good thing. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I have a wonderful family here. This I call my supporting cast. Actually, yeah, they're definitely supporting me. My daughter, Lorelai, and son Logan are awesome kids. My beautiful wife Heather. These guys give me a reason to get up every day and do whatever it is I do. They are an awesome family, and my mother-in-law is here for Thanksgiving, so I'm thankful for her too. She's awesome mother-in-law. So let's see, what else? I want to, a couple of shout outs that I'll talk about this year. So I went out to National Homebrew Convention and I met Gary, Main Brew Guy Gary, for the first time. He is one awesome dude. I don't think, he reminds me a lot of Larmo. If you've met Larmo before, he's kind of larger than life kind of personality, never met a stranger, super happy guy. And I put Gary in that same category. He and I also have a special Army bond. And it was fun meeting him down at NHC, and I really, really enjoyed meeting you, Gary. And I need to send you a beer mail to show you how thankful I am. I mean, he's a very good dude, and I don't know. It's kind of uncommon. You don't find a guy who's as smart and innovative and energetic and just got his shit together as Gary. He's a very impressive guy. So. Maybe I'll have to, I don't know if I'm going to put everybody's channels down at the bottom, but Main Brew Guy Gary, I think you Google on that and you'll find him on YouTube. If you haven't checked his channel out, you need to go do that. Another shout out I'll give is to Nick and Brandon from Exit 12 Brewery. Those dudes came out at NHC and did a lot of pumping up of the BrewTube community. They're an interesting couple, shouldn't say that. They're an interesting two guys. Sorry, Brandon and Nick. Nick is kind of the more fiery one. Brandon's kind of the more laid back, and I think together they go over well. Nick can definitely get your goat, and he and I have had an interesting conversation centered around sports. At least I think it was this year. But anyway, I think they've been overall good for the group, and hopefully they become a regular part of the community. I'm thankful for. People like Kevin Clements out in Oregon. I mean, that guy has been through a lot of medical issues, and he's still putting up videos and maintaining a good, healthy sense of humor. And his son Christian was, sharing some of his awesome footage of this. I think was it Mount Rainier? I don't know if it was Mount Rainier or some mountain. He was climbing in the snow, and it kind of, makes me a little bit jealous because I'd like to be doing something like that. Don't know if I'll ever physically be able to do that again, but. Anyway, thankful to have those guys in the community. Man, I might as well just keep on going. I'm thankful for all my friends out in the UK. I mean, I've got a lot of friends in the UK that pop in from time to time and comment on my videos. And we didn't this year in the SJ Pour Challenge competition. I think it was focused on the United States. I don't think it is going to the international stage, but. When it does, it's kind of exciting, and those guys love them some IPAs, which I always find kind of crazy because I go over to the UK and I drink the beers over there, and I love them. I love the caramely ales they have, and I guess they, kind of dig the super IPAs we have. They're the ones that invented the style, and we're the ones that kind of, I don't know, made it famous, but pushed it, beyond the limit. So it's a good give and take. So anyway. Thankful for you. Special shout out to Steve Molson. He's still out there, and I need to pop on Steve Molson's channel and say hi. It's been a while since I've done that. Who else? Man, let's see. Mike J sent me a beer mail this year, and it was a freaking awesome beer mail. I'm still enjoying the fruits of his labor on that one. So thank you, buddy. Matt from Rec Brewery, he has been super guy. Not only is he just an awesome, nice guy, I mean, super friendly, but he is making some outstanding videos these days, Homebrew Wednesdays. And if you haven't been to Rec Brewery, check his channel out. He is putting out some off-the-cuff comments. He's going to be taking actually, no. If he follows through with what he said he was going to do, he should be doing a live Homebrew Wednesday from Disneyland. So anyway, Matt, thank you so much. I'm thankful to have you in the community. And I guess... there's not much to be thankful about looking across at our nation's political landscape these days. So it's things like friends and family that make it all worthwhile. So anyway, I'll end the note on that. I know I probably missed a lot of folks, but I'm just kind of doing some random shout outs. So I haven't done one of those in a while. I'm going to debate and see if I'm going to do my end of year kind of tally video where I talk about all the different brews that I brewed. I think I might do that. That takes a little bit of time, and I'm taking some vacation days the second half of December, so I'll have some time to put that together. So I think I will do that. Upcoming brews, I'm at a loss. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking I'd like to do an Imperial Stout. I've already got one dark beer on tap. But I don't know. I'm always wanting to do an IPA too, so we'll see. Pretty soon it'll be time to start brewing a, what's the St. Patrick's Day Irish Red Ale, right, for March. So I have to start thinking about that. But I guess I got a couple of months. So anyway, all right, I'm starting to ramble on. Okay, this has just been a weird Homebrew Wednesday, probably one of the weirdest ones I've done. One thing I do want to talk about. So one of the traditions we have here in the Dean household is, and a good friend of mine named Rob is the one that got me started on this, is Monte Carlo night at the Dean's List. And so this is the Dean's List. And I haven't done one of these walk-arounds with my my pub in a while, but big space on the wall right there where I had one of my work plaques got ruined from the moisture, so I have to get that thing fixed. I'm probably going to do that over the holidays. But what I'll do in this room is, you see the kind of the beginnings of it right here. I kind of built a little custom-built craps table backstop, but I've got card shufflers, I've got multi-packs of cards, I've got the little card boot where you pass out cards. So we're going to have, in this corner, we're going to have probably the poker table. In this corner, we're going to have the blackjack table, and I've got one of those on order coming. I'm very excited about it. And then over on this side of the room, I'm going to move that couch back, and we're going to have a craps table, the craps table for the backstop out there. I think my daughter is going to help me run the craps table, so I'll be the pit boss, or I'll be the dealer. She'll be the pit boss. She actually knows all the odds, believe it or not. We're not going to use any money. We do it for fun, and we have prizes like first, second, and third place prizes. But you know, if you're ever looking for something fun to do on a New Year's Eve, well, if you happen to be near the Dean's List, just swing on by. But do yourself a Monte Carlo night. I mean, when you start doing that and you have prizes and everybody gets into it and get a little liquor in there too, everybody has a great time. And we always struggle trying to stay up till midnight, but when we do this Monte Carlo night, it seems like the time just flies by. Now, one thing that I would like to do, and then midnight comes and you're like, oh man, too bad it's over because you're having so much fun. One thing I'd like to do is for the bar, back when I was a young private in the Army, there was a British detachment that was with us. Sorry for the thumb in the way. But there was a British detachment that was with us where I was stationed in Turkey, and we called it the Brit Mess. And I went over there as a young man. I guess, you know, I was kind of cool because my last couple of years of being underage, I was able to drink because I was in the Army overseas. But we went over there and we drank a bunch of Guinness and play darts and have fun with the Brits, and they were a lot of fun. But then they had this thing called the horse races, and the horse races was up along this wall, and it was a whole bunch of these plastic horses, and I can't remember how they did it. I think they had little sticks on one end, and they would move them, and it would cause the whole thing to vibrate, almost like those old hockey machines or the football machines where the pieces would vibrate and they'd move around. So the horses, by the vibrations, would cause them to go, and then they would go at different speeds, and so you would bet on it, and they had numbers and everything. It was just like the horse races. And it's probably more fun because this was kind of towards the end of the night after several rounds of beer or several rounds of Guinness, and they had it on tap too. They had their own bar. I don't know how they had all that set up there because it was not a very big outpost that we were at. But anyway, it was so much fun, and I would love to do that and add that to my Monte Carlo night. You know, bet on the horse races at the end, or at least some point in the night. Everyone would go nuts. But I looked into it, and to buy one of those things, I forget what the name of it is. But it was almost like Mattel, who makes toys here. They have their own toy maker who made that over in the UK. And to buy it, it would be pretty expensive and have it shipped over here. But I'm going to keep looking. I am not deterred. One of these days, I'm going to have the horse races. So anyway, maybe I'm going to change the name of my Homebrew Wednesday to something about the British. Yeah, if I can find the name of that British horse race toy, I'm going to put that as the name of this Homebrew Wednesday. Sorry, Stein. Anyway, that's all I have. Now I'm definitely rambling. Hey, have yourself sorry, it's been a long day at work, and traffic was a killer. Have yourself a happy homebrew, and have a very, very happy Homebrew Wednesday, and have a great Thanksgiving. Cheers.